Listen to that sound. The drumbeat of rain on iron. That's the rhythm of the unbuilt bridge. The space between your desire and your destiny is a canyon of chaos, and most stand paralyzed at the edge, dreaming of the other side but trembling at the void. They mistake wanting for willing, admiration for ownership. I'll show you the scarred hands that prove otherwise. When Carnegie's first bridge collapsed into the Mississippi, drowning 6 workers, he didn't abandon steel. He doubled his study of load tolerances and fracture points. When Edison's lab burned to ash, he didn't mourn the prototypes. He redesigned the entire facility fireproof before the embers cooled. These men understood the brutal arithmetic. Desire is the spark, discipline is the steel, and between them stretches the only bridge that matters, forged in the daily hammer strikes of choice after choice after choice. You don't find discipline. You forge it in the furnace of repeated action until it becomes your skeletal structure. Until saying I will when every cell screams I can't is an effort. It's physiology. Let's autopsy the lie. Follow your passion and you'll never work a day. Tell that to Michelangelo on his back in the Sistine Chapel, plaster blinding him, neck vertebrae fusing, who wrote in his journal, I endure this purgatory for the resurrection of beauty. Passion didn't paint that ceiling. The ritual violence against entropy did. Lincoln drafted the Emancipation Proclamation between military disasters, his hands shaking from exhaustion, because he'd ritualized the unbreakable habit. Determined that the thing shall be done, then we shall find the way. Ford didn't revolutionize manufacturing because he loved assembly lines. He despised inefficiency like a physical disease. His famous $5 per day wage wasn't generosity. It was the cold calculus of reducing worker turnover to maximize output. Real discipline isn't motivational posters. It's the operational code running beneath consciousness. It's Rockefeller scheduling 5 minutes of daily silence to audit decisions. Curie isolating radium for 4 years in a leaking shed while her fingers ulcerated from radiation. Picasso painting 10 hours a day at 80 because creation is the antidote to decay. They didn't transcend human weakness. They weaponized it. Now strip romance from the word habit. What you call routines are neural trenches carved by repetition. Every time you choose the gym over the couch, the pre-dawn pages over the pillow, the uncomfortable truth over the soothing lie, you're pouring concrete into your bridge's foundations. Carnegie tracked his steelworkers' movements to the second, not to punish, but to incinerate inefficiency. Beethoven composed his Ninth Symphony deaf, biting a rod against his piano to feel vibrations through his jaw. Darwin scheduled 90-minute writing blocks with a sand timer. No exceptions, even when vomiting from seasickness. Their systems weren't suggestions. They were cages of inevitability. You think Ford's assembly line was about cars? It was about making action inescapable. The conveyor belt didn't move parts. It moved human choice to the point of irreversibility. Build your own assembly line. Make default decisions impossible. Chain your future self to the mast of your present resolve. The bridge trembles here. This is where the ghosts of abandoned selves wail loudest. Where Edison's 10,000 failed filaments whisper, "Quit now. Save yourself." Where Rockefeller's first bankrupt company hisses, "You're not built for this." Discipline isn't the absence of doubt. It's the art of deafness. Lincoln mastered this during the Civil War's darkest hours, writing, "I shall stay here and do my duty until I drop dead." He read Confederate newspapers daily to harden his resolve against criticism. When Carnegie's board demanded he abandon Bessemer Steel, he mortgaged his mansion to buy them out. Ford's engineers swore the V8 engine was physically impossible. He locked them in a design room for 2 years until they produced it. These men didn't silence fear. They turned it into acetylene fuel for their discipline's torch. Your doubts aren't obstacles. They're structural stress tests. Every no is a load-bearing trial. Every failure, a calibration. The midpoint sways. This is where most turn back, where the chasm below seems safer than the unfinished span ahead. Here's the truth they never told you. Discipline decays, like steel under acid rain, like Rockefeller's vigilance before the 1929 crash. The bridge demands perpetual maintenance. Ford's obsession with the Model T nearly destroyed Ford Motor Company when consumers demanded variety. His discipline had fossilized into dogma. The remedy? Darwin's brutal ritual. Whenever I encounter facts opposing my theories, I write them immediately, for I forget them faster than agreeable ones. Edison scheduled quarterly destruction days, where teams tore apart successful products to rebuild them better. Your systems must have self-destruct mechanisms. Audit your rituals like Carnegie auditing balance sheets. Scrap what works if it blinds you to what's possible. Now feel the other side vibrating underfoot. Smell the iron tang of destiny. This is where Curie's radium burns become star maps, where Edison's sleep-deprived hallucinations resolve into filament equations, where discipline transcends effort and becomes identity. Picasso didn't decide to paint. He was painting manifest in flesh. Rockefeller didn't pursue wealth. He embodied capital's circulatory system. Lincoln didn't recite liberty. He became its walking scar tissue. Your bridge isn't a crossing. It's a transmutation. Every step anneals desire into destiny. Ford's assembly line didn't just build cars. It rebuilt human possibility. Carnegie's libraries didn't store books. They weaponized knowledge for millions. So stand here at the edge. The rain still hammers the iron. The chasm still breathes below. But now you know the secret. The bridge was never out there. It's the callus on your will. The daily yes, when the world screams no. The 4 a.m. pages. The rejected proposal revised at midnight. The cold shower when warmth beckons. These aren't sacrifices. They're rivets. Lincoln's Gettysburg Address took 2 minutes. He spent 17 days forging every syllable. Marie Curie's radium illuminated the world. One molecule extracted from 8 tons of pitchblende, one boiling vat at a time. Destiny isn't seized in leaps. It's laid brick by bloody brick across the canyon of chaos. Burn the inspirational posters. Bury the hashtags. Your bridge waits in the pre-dawn dark, in the unpaid invoice, in the trembling hand reaching for one more attempt. Forge it, walk it, then turn back and watch as millions follow the path your discipline built across the void.